Hello and welcome to the Buru introduction webinar. To get started, let's go ahead and go over the risk disclaimer. And I just want you to know that trading in the foreign currency market is one of the riskiest forms of investments available, and the possibility exists that you could sustain a substantial loss of funds, and so you should definitely not invest any money that you cannot afford to lose. In this webinar, we're first going to go over the installation and troubleshooting of Buru. Then we'll talk a little bit about how Buru works and when it trades. We'll talk about IBFX Australia, a little bit about our affiliate marketing, and then I'll open it up for questions. So let's go ahead and get started here. After you download the zip file, whether you purchased the Buru program or downloaded the demo, you want to double click on the executable file and you'll get the installation wizard. And after you click on next and finish, you will have the platform pop up for you. So let's go ahead and jump over to the trading platform. Okay, so the first thing that's going to pop up here is the window to open up a demo trading account. If you purchased the live version, go ahead and just cancel out of this and log into your live trading account. If not, go ahead and put your name in. After you've got all of your information in, the next thing you want to do is click on the leverage and change that over to 400 to 1, and then you want to change the deposit amount. Generally, I put something in that's a little bit more realistic than the 50,000. I know all of us aren't necessarily going to be depositing 50,000, so we'll put in 5,000 there. Another thing that I want to mention here is when you open an account with IBFX, you've got a minimum deposit for Buru to work. And there's two different account types. So if we click on account type, we can see the mini account and then we can see the standard account. So the minimum that we recommend for a mini account is $500, and the minimum for a standard account is $5,000. So we've got 5,000. Let's go ahead and choose a standard account. Hit I agree. Next. Next. And there we've got our demo account information, and click on finish. Okay, and after we click on finish, you should hear the bells of logging in, and up at the top right of each chart you should see an expert advisor preloaded. Now there's a few steps to get Buru to work. The first one is to click on the X and choose the option that says allow live trading, and make sure the option for allow DLL imports is chosen. You'll also notice the inputs tab at the top. You can actually change the risk factor. The risk factor for the statistics that you see on our website are generally 1.0, but we'll go a little bit more into the risk factor and what that does a little bit later. So after we click on OK, let's go ahead and go to the other charts and make sure that they're all have the allow live trading selected. Okay, now you'll notice that we've allowed live trading, but we still see the X at the top right of each chart. So the next thing that we need to do is actually activate expert advisors on the MT4 platform. So let's click on the expert advisor button, and as we can see, the charts are now coming to life. On the left-hand side of each chart, you will see the name of the expert advisor and the version. As of this webinar, the latest version is 1.2, and you can see that one chart has Buru New York, and 3 charts have Buru Tokyo. And so on this one, looks like I've actually got the wrong currency pair loaded, so let's actually load the correct currency pair. Make sure that anytime you see an error message, just read that and it should tell you exactly what you need to do. For instance, if you opened an account with less than 400 to 1 leverage, you're going to get an error message there. So now that we've got the correct chart loaded, it should all say waiting for next entry, and then Buru New York starts at 11. Now there are a few troubleshooting tips. First thing that you want to do is make sure that you're actually connected to IBFX's servers. So down at the bottom right, you should see red and green bars, and you shouldn't see any error message. So if you see no connection, invalid account, or common error, you'll want to contact IBFX and see what you can do to get your account connected. Another thing you can do is click on Tools, Options, and if you click on the Expert Advisors tab, make sure that Allow Live Trading is selected here, as well as Allow DLL Imports. Okay, now that we've got Buru up and running on our charts, let's talk a little bit more about the risk factor. With the risk settings, you can choose a value between 0.01 all the way up to 1.0. 1.0 is the riskiest setting that we allow with Buru, and on a standard account of $10,000 with a risk setting of 1.0, you will have an initial trade size of 0.04. If you have a risk setting of 0.50, you're essentially putting half the risk. And so with an account size of 10,000, the initial trade size is going to be 0.02. Now make sure that when you're choosing your risk setting that you take into account that the minimum lot size available to trade is 0.01. So if you choose a lot size or a risk setting that will create the lot size to be less than 0.01, Buru will not be able to trade. And you can see a more in-depth example of the exact calculation on the risk settings if you go to burutrader.com and click on the FAQ section. Okay, now a little bit more about Buru. There's two different expert advisors. Buru New York begins trading exactly at 11 GMT. It opens up 6 pending trades, 3 pending buy stop trades, and 3 pending sell stop trades. And when the market breaks out of these trading orders, then that's when it will post a profit. With the Buru Tokyo, trading can begin at 2 GMT, but it opens trades based on a stochastic or Bollinger Band strategy for the entry, and then it continues to manage the trades until it can post a profit. Okay, now a few tips on troubleshooting. The first is you want to have a smiley face at the top right of all 4 charts. That's the easiest thing to check. The second one is make sure you're actually connected to Interbank FX. If you have the wrong password, or if you're having firewall or antivirus software issues, make sure you give IBFX a call and they can help you get up and running with your connection status. The next thing is make sure that none of your charts have an error message on them. For instance, you have to have a 400-to-1 leverage account, and if you see an error message on your chart that says that you have something less, you need to get that fixed. The next thing is you need to make sure that you have the correct Buru version. If you've got an older Buru version, they're actually scheduled to expire after some time. And so make sure that you have the latest Buru version. You can check this by going to the FAQ section of the website, burutrader.com. And the last thing, which we've already discussed, is the risk factor. Make sure that your risk factor is allowing for a lot size greater than 0.01. And again, for the minimum recommendation on deposits, we recommend a minimum $5,000 deposit for standard accounts and $500 for a mini account. And we do have a detailed troubleshooting guide that is located in the FAQ section of burutrader.com.